So it looks like they also have a person of interest in the New York City United Healthcare CEO being offed unceremoniously. Welcome, everybody. Live breaking news. Come on in. Come on in. Daniel Penny found not guilty. A unanimous decision after Alvin Do Nothing Bragg tried to weight the charges, and some say in a strategic move to get that first count manslaughter dismissed, which happened on Friday. A lot of people, including myself, were extremely nervous, extremely skeptical, and reluctant because we thought for sure this was all done strategically so they could at least get him on something. Well, guess what? Marine veteran Daniel Penny has been found not guilty in this controversial, I don't think it's controversial at all, 2023 subway chokehold case after over 20 hours of deliberation. 20 hours. That means, if you think about that, everybody, 20 hours. By the way, stay tuned too, because we've also got, I'm going to go live to a press conference. New York City Mayor Eric Adams is planning a live press conference. We kind of have a dual breaking story. They now supposedly have said they are questioning a lead suspect in the case of Brian Thompson, United Healthcare CEO, who was offed in broad daylight, practically. It was dawn on that fateful morning as he was on his way to a meeting on the streets of Manhattan, no less. I mean, in a nice area of Manhattan. Come on in. Come on in. Let me know where you're joining me from, what city, what state, what country. I'm also going to share with you reactions. Oh, wait a minute. We're going to go live right now. We're going to go live right now because we now have the press conference. Hold on one second. We're going to go live.
In the shooting that shook our city last week, CEO Brian Thompson of United Healthcare was the victim of a senseless act of violence. Our officers have been working around the clock. Many of them did not go home to pursue this individual. It was crucial that we were able to remove him off the streets of America, and we were going to seek him out no matter where he was at the time. And so this is a strong person of interest. The police commissioner and chief of detectives will go over where we are right now in the investigation. He matches the description of the identification we've been looking for. He's also in possession of several items that we believe will connect him to this incident. How did we do it? Good old-fashioned police work. The chief of detectives and the police commissioner made the decision to release as much of a photo that we had at the time. We sent it across the country, and someone, a McDonald's employee, did something we ask every American to do. If you see something, say something, but most importantly, do something. And they did. And because of that, we believe we have a strong person of interest to deal with this case. I want to now turn it over to the police commissioner of the city of New York, Commissioner Tisch.
Thank you, Mayor. Good afternoon, everyone. Earlier this morning in Altoona, Pennsylvania, members of the Altoona Police Department arrested Luigi Mangione, a 26-year-old male, on firearms charges. At this time, he is believed to be our person of interest in the brazen targeted murder of Brian Thompson, CEO of United Healthcare, last Wednesday in Midtown Manhattan. The suspect was in a McDonald's and was recognized by an employee who then called local police. Responding officers questioned the suspect, who was acting suspiciously and was carrying multiple fraudulent IDs as well as a U.S. passport. Upon further investigation, officers recovered a firearm on his person, as well as a suppressor, both consistent with the weapon used in the murder. They also recovered clothing, including a mask consistent with those worn by our wanted individual. Also recovered was a fraudulent New Jersey ID, matching the ID our suspect used to check into his New York City hostel before the shooting incident. Additionally, officers recovered a handwritten document that speaks to both his motivation and mindset. NYPD detectives are en route to Pennsylvania as we seek to interview the subject further. This apprehension is thanks to the tireless work of the greatest detectives in the world, and of course, the strong relationships we have with our local law enforcement partners on every level, local, state, and federal. We all serve the same public safety mission. And this case, which captured the attention of an entire nation, is another example of how connected we are and how important it is to work together, share information, and pursue every lead. For just over 5 days, our NYPD investigators combed through thousands of hours of video, followed up on hundreds of tips, and processed every bit of forensic evidence, DNA, fingerprints, IP addresses, and so much more to tighten the net. We deployed drones, canine units, and scuba divers. We leveraged the domain awareness system, Argus cameras, and conducted aviation canvasses. And our detectives also went door to door, interviewing potential witnesses and doing the good old-fashioned police work that our investigators are famous for. This combination of old school detective work and new age technology is what led to this result today. And we must also acknowledge the instrumental role the media and the public played in this case. The images that we shared with the public were spread far and wide, and the tips we received led to the recovery of crucial evidence. We should never underestimate the power of the public to be our eyes and our ears in these investigations. This is the third time in 3 weeks that a member of the public has seen something and said something and done something that led to a high-profile arrest. The triple stabbing homicide in Manhattan, the gunpoint robberies in Queens during which an NYPD officer was shot, and now this. Now, the case will continue through the criminal justice process. And while we are proud of today's accomplishment, we must, of course, remember that a family is in mourning. I want to again extend my sympathies to Brian's family, his coworkers, and all who knew him. Finally, I want to thank the women and men of the NYPD, especially our Detective Bureau personnel, with a strong assist from our intelligence analysts.
Okay, if you're just joining us right now, we're going to talk about Daniel Penny. The verdict just came in, but we're just breaking to a live news conference. I want to hear and see if once New York City Mayor Eric Adams gets back in there, I might go back to it because I have a feeling he's going to talk about what I titled this show about, which is BLM has made visceral, tangible threats to they've made tangible threats to New York City, to America, and I'm going to play you some footage of that in just a second. But let me I'll keep an eye on this and just kind of see if Mayor Eric Adams, who, if you don't recall, I talked about this before, Mayor Eric Adams was one of the people who called Daniel Penny a hero. By the way, let me know in the comments really quickly, do you think that this is justice served? Do you think that justice was served in a unanimous decision that found Daniel Penny, American Marine veteran war hero, not guilty on all charges, even after Alvin Do Nothing Bragg tried to weight the charges? The prosecutor said, we'll make a deal with you. You can't find him guilty on manslaughter? Okay, we'll dismiss it. I mean, they're playing board games with this poor guy's life, trying to get a guilty verdict at all costs. And the jury, thank God, obviously you can see where I stand on this, Good to see you, Georgina. Georgina says 100%. I'm seeing a lot of yeses. Yes. Thrifty Flipper says yes. Angie Crawford says yes. Joseph Morelli. Hey, Joseph, how you doing? You Italian over here? What am I, a schlamazel? Sorry, I just have fun. I have Italian in me. So I don't know if you heard the name of the person of interest, by the way. The name of the person of interest was Mangini, Luigi Mangini. I mean, is this not to jump to conclusions and not to incur slurs and stereotypes, but Luigi Mangini? I don't know. It sounds like somebody who might belong to a certain group of individuals that we've seen a lot of great movies about, including one that's got Al Pacino in it, if you know what I'm saying. So Luigi Mangini, you think this guy's Italian? I don't know. We're going to keep an eye on that. I want to see if Mayor Eric Adams comes out to talk about this. Holy mackerel, Paul Harrison. Paul Harrison, you're amazing, man. Holy mackerel. Paul Harrison with a $50 super chat. Paul, God bless you, sir. I can tell that you are an intelligent, smart, amazing, proud American who loves this country, who loves justice, who doesn't fall for the BS, race baiting and race hustling. I want to say God bless you. Paul Harrison says, Professor Nez, regardless of how a person feels about Brian Thompson, shooting him from behind was a coward move. Off topic. Thank God Trump is back in office. To hell with BLM and Sharpton. I couldn't agree more with you, Paul. I think the only people who make everything about race, I think the only people who ever make things about traits and qualities that you have zero control over are the people who've got nothing else to stand on. They don't have a leg of evidence, of critical thinking, of any substantive details, substantive backup for any of their arguments or any of their claims. And thank you for keeping me on point, Paul Harrison. And thank you, JB. We got the best mods in the business. Give our mods in the audience a huge pat on the back. Tell them all hello. You'll see them with the blue wrenches. And Ronnie, if you're on a Rumble, I hope you're over there. Thank you, JB. You're the absolute best. These are the only people that make it about race. And these are the only people that make it about these ridiculous DEI woke. It's really, this is the cancer. The cancer is DEI, which stands for didn't earn it, which is a discriminatory practice that bases any criteria. America is about the best person. The best person wins. The best person for the job. The best idea, regardless. Sexual orientation, gender, a skin tone that you have zero control over. What happened to content of character, not the color of my skin? Why have we lost that? How did BLM get to be this billion-dollar domestic terrorist organization? I shared yesterday in the stream, they haven't helped one neighborhood that they so-called they're all for the blacks and Black Lives Matter. They've earned billions of dollars and they have not donated one penny to a black school, a black neighborhood, a black program, a black church, nothing, a black city, nothing. And that should tell you everything you need to know. I'm also going to share with you some reactions to this, some reactions from Ron DeSantis, reactions from Phil Mickelson, reactions from other people as well. Stick around. But again, after 20 hours of deliberation, we're kind of keeping our toes dipped in two major stories right here with the CEO, Mike Thompson, who was unceremoniously and just brutally unalived in broad daylight in Manhattan. They have a person of interest, Luigi Mangini. I don't mean to make fun, but it's got my brain going in a Goodfellas kind of trajectory. After 20 hours of deliberation, a jury cleared Penny of criminally negligent homicide. Again, remember, following the early dismissal of that count of manslaughter. So they just came back after Friday. There was a lot of skepticism. Penny, who again acted to protect passengers from threats on the subway, stood by his decision, saying his actions were necessary in a chaotic situation. I tend to agree 1,000,000,000%. Eyewitness testimony of the people who were on that subway car. One mother had her baby son in her hands. and said, I felt terrified like I never felt terrified before. I felt a fear course through my veins that came from hell itself. I thought for sure this individual, Jordan Neely, again, who has a long history, a long criminal history, a long history of schizophrenia, being diagnosed with schizophrenia, a long history of drug use, fentanyl addiction. And all of a sudden now his dad comes out and says, I miss my son. Where were you for the last 22 years? Where were you when he was on the streets begging, when he was homeless, when he was engaging in nefarious criminal activities? Now you want to come out? Now you come when there's microphones and there's BLM and there's a chance for you to get a money grab? Now you come out? It's awful. It's absolutely awful. I'm going to share with you something even more awful because this channel is the antidote to woke. I've told you many, many times, woke ideologies, woke principles have infected our schools, infected our businesses, infected our institutions, infected our government, infected every facet of our lives, our ability to take care of ourselves, the economy, real estate, finance. They've infected everything. It's the most cancerous, infectious virus to ever plague society, not just America, the world. Look what's happening in the UK. Look what's happening in Germany. Look what's happening in France. It is abysmal. It makes COVID literally look like the 2-day cold. And so this whole channel is dedicated to being the antidote to woke. So make sure you follow and subscribe. Penny, this case also ignited intense debates on mental health, public safety. Daniel Penny, a Marine hero who stepped up and now walks free. Now, I want to also share with you this because, again, this is what I mean by you cannot hate the mainstream media. You just can't hate them enough. I want to share this with you. The Associated Press, okay? The Associated Press, okay, should be ashamed of themselves, especially this article author by the name of Jennifer Peltz, okay? So this is why you cannot this is why I think really maybe even more so why I think this channel is so important. I'm just going to share with you one headline. Wait a minute. It looks like, okay, hold on a second. It looks like he's back. Hold on a second. We're going to go back here. Hold on. Let's listen in. New York City Mayor Eric Adams.
Again, great job by the New York City Police Department. In certain aspects of this investigation and the crime itself is something that we have been zeroing in on. Ghost guns. We have really talked about this since the beginning of the administration. They could be made on a 3D printer, and they are extremely dangerous, and we must do more on the federal level to clamp down on the availability of ghost guns. And it just really leads into just the top headers of what we did last week and what we're doing this week. This week is all about public safety. Public safety, I've stated over and over again, is a prerequisite to our prosperity, and we're going to continue to make this
All
city.
right, well, you got the news off the top there. It happened earlier this morning there in Altoona, PA. Members of the Altoona Police Department arrested Luigi Mangione, a 26-year-old male, on firearms charges. He is still being labeled a
Luigi Mangione. I mean, if that doesn't scream Italian American, I don't know. Luigi Mangione. God, I love that name. I mean, he's a terrible human being. Don't get me wrong. But I mean, I have a feeling this story is not even close to fully. I mean, we're not even scratching the surface of how deep the ties go, and who were the real culprits? Who were the real arbiters of this Luigi Mangione? Who were the people that pulled the metaphorical trigger on Luigi Mangione carrying out this awful broad daylight murder? This is really interesting. We're going to keep an eye on that. I was kind of hoping to see if Eric Adams would talk about the Daniel Penny verdict. Again, if you're just joining us, he is free. Daniel Penny is free, and I think justice has been served, but I can't wait to hear from you. America is back. Sanity is back. Okay, I want to share with you this right here, and then we're going to share some reactions, especially from Black Lives Matter, who are making some pretty visceral threats. But as if you couldn't hate the media enough, okay? Associated Press wrote this, and I'm not even going to tell you everything. I'll kind of share this. As I posted it on X. If you haven't followed me on X, make sure you follow me there. A Marine veteran who used a chokehold, and this is where you have to pay really close attention, to an agitated subway rider on Monday on a DEATH that became a prism for differing views about public safety, valor, and vigilantism. Now, what do I have highlighted right here? If you can't see, what I have highlighted there is agitated subway rider. The reason why this is important is because this is how the propagandist media work. This is how they've pulled the wool over our eyes for decades. This is how they got away with the Russia hoax. This is how they got away with impeachment, Charlottesville, the border bill that was an absolute joke. This is how they got away with everything. And God knows how long they've been getting away with it, okay? To further kind of give you more examples here, this is such a biased, fraudulent, propagandist account of this story. To call Jordan Neely an agitated subway rider is like calling Michael Myers a frustrated male. And it's just so bad. It's so bad. And this is why nobody trusts the media. They also go on to describe him as somebody who has issues, quote unquote, issues. And they paint Daniel Penny. I'm not even going to give them the time of day of sharing even more because it's so bad. But I took some notes and I'll tell you what I put there. They paint Daniel Penny as a privileged white man, Here was a guy who was going to the gym and instead of looking the other way, saw this crazy, deranged lunatic, which you ask anybody who lives in New York City, how many times they have been scared for their lives, like absolutely petrified in the marrow of their bones for the amount of lunatics that do very, very similar things to what Jordan Neely did. Although Jordan Neely took it one step further. Screaming in people's faces saying, I don't care about jail. I don't care what happens. Today is the day. He said, today is the day. And he said, I'm going to KILL all of you. And instead of looking the other way, seeing this poor mother in the subway car, shielding her son, her baby infant son, from this deranged, fentanyl-consumed, long-standing 42 arrests criminal whose deadbeat dad said bye-bye to him long ago, but all of a sudden, he sees a moment to grab some money, so now he's sad. Now he's putting on a depressed countenance in front of reporters and cameras. Oh, we got to do something. He actually threatened America. He said, we need to do something. What does that mean? Mr. Neely, what do you mean when you say we need to do something? I think I have a pretty good idea. This article goes on. Neely was a lifelong criminal with over 42 arrests, diagnosed with schizophrenia, heavy fentanyl addiction, who from multiple eyewitness accounts was threatening passengers, saying things like, I'm ready to go to jail and I want to KIL all of you. This guy, Daniel Penny, who is a Marine veteran who served his country, was just minding his own business, but was alerted to the insanity taking place before him, and he just couldn't sit there and do nothing about it. I pray we need more men like Daniel Penny. I would even go as far as to say, Mr. President Trump, I think he deserves a medal. I think Daniel Penny is a hero. We need more men like him. This entire sham trial that was brought by the worst, well, I'll say the second worst DA in American history, next to Fani Willis, of course, Alvin Do Nothing Bragg, is only going to dissuade Good Samaritans from ever doing anything again. We're going to feel more dispossessed, more disconnected. We're already married to our technology. We already don't look at each other anymore. We don't wave hi to each other anymore. We don't even acknowledge anybody anymore. I can tell you right now, I'll just a quick caveat. I am in California, but I can tell you right now, every single time I walk my dog, every single day, I walk my dog every single day. I take my dog out for a walk. My dog Blue. By the way, a lot of you guys sent some great wishes. Blue was attacked recently. He's a 4-year-old full purebred Doberman. I love him with every molecule of my body. He is my best friend in the entire world. He's my everything. I'm sure if you love animals and you love your dogs, you probably feel the same way. He's doing fantastic. The vet gave us some ointments, and he just had a couple of scratches. He said he had kind of a freaky one on his neck, but everything turned out okay. He's going to be fine, and he's doing wonderfully. Thank you for all the well wishes. God bless you all. I love you guys. You guys are fantastic. Every single time I go for a walk, every single time I go outside, I remember in the America that I grew up in that you acknowledged. I'm not saying we got to stop and chat. I don't like stop and chats. As a matter of fact, I don't have time for stop and chats. We don't have to become best friends. But there was at least this little acknowledgement, even just a kind of familiar nod, like, hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. What happened to that? That doesn't happen anymore. This kind of a case, this sham, fraudulent, indecent, despicable charges that Alvin Do Nothing Bragg and the prosecution brought up, this is going to de-incentivize. It's going to create even more disconnectedness. Congratulations. Thank God we got a just verdict. Thank God, and God bless all of those jurors who finally came to the realization, my God, this guy actually prevented it. This is actually New York City Mayor Eric Adams said this the other day. If it wasn't for Daniel Penny, we could have had 3 or 4 potential homicides instead of one long-standing criminal, schizophrenic, fentanyl addict who did not actually perish from Daniel Penny. The paramedics found a pulse after Daniel Penny released the chokehold, got up, and was speaking to detectives. They found a pulse on him. So he was not DOA. He was not DOA. No. With the amount of drugs in his blood, there was a toxicology report. This guy was chock full. And his track record, his background all confirm this and do not bring about any false speculation whatsoever. So shame on you, Jennifer Peltz. Shame on you, Associated Press, for identifying this long-standing drug-addled criminal with over 42 arrests. Shame on you for describing him as an agitated subway rider. An agitated subway rider. Can you believe that? I'm appalled. This is why Jeff Bezos wrote that op-ed in the Washington Post. This is why MSNBC, NBC, and all the woke, corrupt propagandist media, their ratings are plummeting. Good riddance. America is back. Sanity is back. So BLM is in an absolute uproar. BLM is in an absolute uproar. I'm going to share with you this press conference right here. You can see a little bit more of. So you can see a little bit more of Daniel Penny's father, but I want to share this with you. These guys are in an absolute uproar and don't really believe in facts. I want you to see this real fast. Check this out.
Had threatened to burn down parts of the city, cars, whatnot. Let's watch. They're angry over Daniel Penny being found not guilty.
Do it for us. And clearly, if we get to this point, it's too late. We have to be there for each other, and that's our call to action. Everybody that's pissed off at this verdict, I challenge you to go outside today and help one person. Right on. That's my challenge. If you're angry, if you're hurt, go help one person. That's how we beat the system. That's how we turn this around, by being there for each other.
I just want to say,
this is Jordan Neely's father.
I miss my son. My son didn't have to go through this. I didn't have to go through this either. It hurts. Really, really hurts.
Okay, if you can't, I'm just pausing it for a second here just to jump in real quick. So you see the guy behind the attorney and Jordan Neely's father, he looks like this guy looks like a 6'5", center for the Buffalo Bills. He's huge. That is Hawk Newsom, who is a leader in the BLM New York chapter. I mean, it's amazing that these guys have chapters. So you heard the attorney say, go help somebody. That's my challenge. And he starts clapping. Well, he contradicts himself. And the hypocrisy is absolutely exposed. Stay tuned. I'm going to show you what he said right after the attorney for Neely says, go help somebody. And then I don't know who Yogi Berra is on the far corner of the screen there, dressed in the Yogi Berra outfit. I have no idea. But it looks like a thug criminal organization. Is it just me? And this has nothing to do with race. It's just like what are you wearing, dude? I have no idea what's going on there. Here we go. Let's listen to Jordan Neely's father. Again, this is the father. This is the father who was vacant for 20 years when his son was actually homeless, actually arrested 42 times, actually a drug addict on the streets by himself. Where was the dad? The dad shows up now all of a sudden when there's notoriety. That's a little suspect, to just be honest with you. Here we go.
What are we going to do, people? What's going to happen to us now? I had enough of this. System is rigged. Mm-hmm. Come on, people. Let's do something about this.
Let's do something about it. Too often, we have Eric Garner's mother here.
Wait a minute. Am I nuts? Am I crazy? Or does that sound like an incitement? Can somebody tell me what that is? Let's do something about it. The guy just said help somebody today. Let's do something about it. That's a very cryptic, ominous phrase. Now, I'm going to go ahead and presume that maybe Jordan Neely's father is not the most articulate and erudite individual on the planet, but I don't know. What do you think of those words? When he says something like, we should do something about it, what exactly do you mean by that? What exactly do you mean by that? It kind of strikes chills to me. Okay, so I think let me see if I've already. I don't want to share this. I want to also show you this, which this is So remember what I told you about the guy standing behind, okay? I want you to look at, okay? This is what I want you to see. I want you to see what he says just moments later. Just moments after that. I want you to see what he said. Hold on a second. Check this out. Contradicting everything that the attorney seemed, correct me if I'm wrong, but the attorney seemed like he was not calling for violence. Well, let me know what you think of this rhetoric right here from, again, one of the leaders of BLM's New York chapter, who they're right outside the courtroom speaking right after the verdict of not guilty was issued.
Just like everybody else has vigilantes, we need some black vigilantes.
That's right.
People want to jump up and choke us and kill us for being loud. How about we do the same when they attempt to oppress us?
Right.
I'm tired.
Tired.
I know you're looking for us to be like, oh, go and march. No. This weekend, I want you to hold a community event everywhere from the Bronx to Houston to Seattle to Florida. Black people, whole community event, and talk about what you need. It's like everybody.
What is that? I mean, I just feel like this is all code word. Am I crazy, or is this all code word? A community event. We need vigilantes. He's calling for vigilantes. I mean, I just don't understand it. I don't understand it. One thing I will say that I feel certain about is this. I feel pretty certain that when you're an organization, and I'd love to get your thoughts on this too. When you are an organization whose sole survival, okay, your sole survival is basically your bread and butter, is your ability to sow division, your ability to incite hate, your ability to create more divisiveness. If that is the lifeblood of your organization, everything that the Black Lives Matter activists say makes a lot of sense. This is just business, good business practices to them. If ambulance chasing is the way that you pay the bills, you don't have the luxury to feel shame, I guess. I don't know. It's not quite the vocation that I would pick. But, you see those desperate attorneys. I'm thinking about that Paul Newman movie, The Verdict, which I actually just watched again recently. I've been watching a lot more older movies because I can't stand new movies. Let me know in the comments. I cannot watch a new movie if you paid me. They're all garbage. The Verdict is like a 1979 or 1980 film with Paul Newman. But what I don't understand, okay, is people are giving these guys massive, especially woke propaganda media. They're giving these guys a stage. What does that tell you too? What is that? I mean, you have to look at this critically, okay? I actually don't blame the BLM. I mean, I don't approve of them. I think they're completely full of crap. I don't think they give a rat's ass about black people at all. I think everything that they claim is hypocritical. They're completely the antithesis to bringing the black communities together. They could care less. There's no money in it for them if the black communities came together. We just made and created a mandate on November 5th. We brought our country together. You can feel it in the streets, hallways, and byways of the American landscape. People are happy. They're excited. They're doing the Trump dance. You've got movie stars, football players, athletes doing the Trump dance. You've got a galvanized movement like MAGA, Make America Great Again. You've got Elon Musk, Vivek, Tulsi. You've got people that are just feeling like, holy crap, we might actually get to the America that we grew up in. And by the way, we're not asking for that much. We're just asking for a return to sanity. Is that too much to ask? We're not asking for a revolution. I don't know about you, but I'm not. I just wanted to get away from the dark ages that the past 4 years have wrought on our beautiful democratic republic. Get back to sanity. Get back to normalcy. And we were all happy-go-lucky. I've been the happiest I've been in ages because I like to think, maybe that's a little bit too much of me. Maybe I'm being narcissistic. I'll concede that. But I like to think after getting 100 million views, and that's all because of you. Give yourselves a pat on the back. I love you guys, Nest Nation. Over 100 million views we got on this channel. I like to think I have at least a molecule of contribution to getting our country back. I did it for my kids. I did it for my grandkids. I did it for my grandkids' grandkids. I did it for the country that has given me everything. My beautiful, glorious, awesome, amazing, God-fearing, beautiful United States of America has given me everything. And I feel it is my mission to give back. And all we were asking for was sanity. That's all we were asking for. We were just asking for, you know what? I don't feel safe taking my kids out. You know what? I can barely afford to put food on the table. You know what? I can barely pay my electric bill. You know what? I can't even drive my car to work because gas is too high. You know what? I'm sick and tired of America last. I'm sick and tired of giving freebies to illegal criminal migrants who are now laying siege to cities all across America. You know what? I'm sick and tired of forever wars. I'm sick and tired of all my taxpayer dollars going to fund and launder the Biden crime syndicate. I'm sick and tired of it. Just like you are. That's why we did this. Is that supernatural? Does that make me a right-wing nut job? Because I'm sick and tired of the cancerous DEI woke ideologies infecting our schools, our businesses, our lives, our livelihoods? Does that make me a right-wing extremist? Because I don't want you shoving transgender irrevocable medications and surgeries down the throats of my children? Not knowing what the long-term healthcare ramifications are? Does that make me a right-wing conspiratorial nut job? You can call me whatever you want. If that's what you think is a right-wing nut job, to me, that's called sanity. To me, that's called America. To me, that's what the framers and the founders envisioned in the very fabric of our beautiful, glorious republic. And we dishonor them for their sacrifices. We dishonor the millions of American heroes, veterans like Daniel Penny, when we allow these serpents into the garden. Kamala Harris, Pencil Dick Schiff, Ratty Raskin. Oh, he's such a rat. He's such a rat. I hate Ratty Raskin. I'm sorry. And I don't like to give hate to anybody, but Ratty Raskin is one of the worst. Chuck the Buck Schumer pushing up Daisy's Pelosi. Need I go on? You, everybody watching and listening, when you tap the thumbs up and you watch these videos and you hang out with us and you galvanize around this, just Americans, the silent majority, what Nixon and Trump referred to as the silent majority, not these loud, foul-mouthed, anti-American, Marxist-Leninist, violent offenders who don't love our country, have been given millions and billions of dollars. Black Lives Matter has not given a cent to Black communities. They have not given a cent to one Black child to go to college. They have not given a cent to one Black neighborhood, to one Black church. But they're going to get on here because they're loud and because of DEI woke ideologies, which is really the systemic infection. That is true systemic racism, is DEI woke policies and ideologies. They're given a platform and they're given millions and billions of dollars. But wait, there's more. Give me an amen if you agree with everything I just said, or at least feel that. By the way, even if you disagree, I welcome disagreement. This is America. I welcome disagreement. I welcome all viewpoints, as long as it's constructive, as long as it embodies critical thinking. Look, you share links And personal ad hominem attacks, I don't even see it. It goes straight to spam. Don't bother. I want my comments section to be alive with conversation, with engagement, with collaboration. I've got people in the comments who've become lifelong friends, best friends, husbands and wives, partners, spouses. Just like in my classroom when I was teaching at those indoctrination camps, which is why I left. I want my comment section to be alive. I say this without any false humility. I say this without any false modesty. I am dedicated to serving you. I want to be the best. I want to be the best media org you've ever come across. It is my wife and I's goal. We're a mom and pop grassroots media organization. It is my lifelong goal, my purpose from God. And yes, I mean that, from God. All praises to the Most High. To be the best that I can be. To give you the objective truth. To be the antidote to woke. To be somebody who shares objective truths so we can all come together, have a conversation. That's America. That's how our country was founded on. Getting in a room in Philadelphia in the hot summers in the late 18th century and discussing, debating, discourse. Yes, there were disagreements. Yes, there was yelling. Yes, there was screaming. But engaging in debate, not violence, not saying go out on the streets and burn and loot, not saying we need vigilantes. That's not America. That's not America. America is founded. Our great thinkers, our great philosophers, Walt Whitman, Thomas Jefferson, Ralph Waldo Emerson, Thoreau, Henry David Thoreau, self-reliance, critical thinking. Russia can't make you vote for somebody. Nobody can make you do anything. One of the beautiful tenets, the pillars of American values and principles is your sovereignty lies right between your ears. Your ability to critically think is everything. Everything. That's what this channel is all about. So I welcome all viewpoints because I want to be the best. I don't want to be second. I don't want to be third. I want to be the best, the number one. And the only way I can do that, this is not false modesty. I truly believe I am a lifelong learner. And I truly believe I am learning just as much from you as I can only hope that you're gleaning from my channel. That's it. That's it. But wait, there's more. I love you guys. That's what I want to say. I love each and every one of you. Thank you for being here. I truly mean that with every molecule of my body. But wait, there's more. I want to tell you what Ron DeSantis had to say. So Ron DeSantis had this to say, who I think a lot of us can respect Ron DeSantis. Ron DeSantis actually said this, which I think is pretty interesting. He said, the acquittal of Daniel Penny is clearly the just and correct verdict. I must admit, I was skeptical that a jury in New York City would reach a unanimous not guilty verdict, and the jury deserves credit for doing the right thing. Meanwhile, is there a worse prosecutor in America than Alvin Bragg? It's funny. Quite frankly, I got to tell you right now, Ronnie, I think there's somebody I'm thinking about. Quite frankly, probably the worst DA of all time. She's a real nasty person. She's come after me and a lot of people, which is why I watch Professor Nez, because he always tells the truth. He's a really good guy, smart guy, good-looking guy, actually. And there's only one person. She's a terrible human being, nasty person, and that's Fannie Cash Money G. Fannie, you're fired. And Professor Nez, I love your channel. I'm subscribed. Quite frankly, probably I don't watch anybody else. And keep up the good work, okay? Thank you so much, Mr. President. I love you. Thank you for not sitting back and playing golf all day and alleviating yourself of the burden of being one of the greatest leaders to bring our country back. Thank you so much, and God bless you, Mr. President. This guy could have easily just taken it easy. Easily taken it easy. Sounds like a Dr. Dre song. This guy could be playing golf, hanging out on the nicest beaches in the world. He's a billionaire. He's got all the notoriety. He has more power as a private person than he does a public civil servant, in all honesty. So it's not a power grab. He just is sick and tired, like the rest of us, of what's happening to his country, to our country. God bless you, Mr. President. God bless you. If you love America, please tap the thumbs up if you haven't already. Okay. But wait, there's more. So that's Ronnie DeSantis, who a lot of people said would work in, would more than likely work in President Trump's administration. This just into some breaking news here. There's been some multiple arrests after the Daniel Penny verdict, with some threatening to unleash violence throughout New York City. What do you think? Go figure. Protesters were heard shouting, "No justice, no peace." Others reportedly threatened violence against Daniel Penny, this poor, innocent American Marine veteran who did the right thing, this good Samaritan, is actually getting threats from this domestic terrorist organization, which has not given a penny back to any Black communities at all. Phil Mickelson. I want to tell you about Phil Mickelson. Phil Mickelson, who, I don't know if you guys know this or not, but Phil Mickelson is obviously a legendary golfer. But listen to what Phil Mickelson said, which I think is so cool, and I really, really appreciate. Makes me love him even more. If you know who Phil Mickelson is, let me know in the comments down below. So Phil Mickelson said this about the verdict, and I'm going to add that to the stage right now. And you can see here, he says, "Finally, a little common sense. There never should have been a trial. He should be commended for selfless actions to protect the other passengers, and those who brought charges should be out of the job." Do you think that Alvin Do Nothing Bragg and that awful, awful prosecutor has a history of radical, progressive, she's not practicing law. She is practicing activism, pure and simply. Do you think that they should be fired? Let me know what you guys think in the comments. And then lastly, I just want to play, because this is what we need to see right here. Another Black Lives leader saying, "GD America, goddamn America," and those white people on the jury. These are the kind of people who are given platforms because of woke DEI ideologies. I have to play this because this is the truth. This is who they are. And nobody will talk about this in this light. Here is the famous, one of the co-founders. Listen to what she has to say.
Because to be real, they didn't even try. Once the lesser charge was removed, they came back an hour later and said it was deadlock. Less than an hour and 20 minutes later, they said not guilty. These wonderful white people, I hope they celebrate their Christmas while the Neely family is praying and asking God for comfort. Goddamn them and goddamn America.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Is that a fact? Holy macadamia nut. And you know what? She's probably going to get a high school library named after her for saying that in at Howard University or Brown University. Can you believe that? She just said GD. I can't even say the words. It makes me so upset. She just said GD America. That is absolutely preposterous. And that is awful. That is absolutely awful. I just can't believe this is the state that we're in, where people can actually get away with saying this. I just have a question here. Here's my question. If Daniel Penny, because they make race such a big deal, If Daniel Penny was black and Jordan Neely was white, would they still think that the chokehold was murder? Would they still think that Daniel Penny, let's say he was African American. Daniel Penny's African American. Jordan Neely's white. Would they still think that it was a chokehold that should not have been administered? Would they still think that the murder was committed and make this big fuss and this outrage? Let me know in the comments down below if you think so. I think I have an idea what the answer is. Wow. 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 She just said GD America and walks off like nothing happened. Well, on to some good news. On to some, look at this. This is kind of cool. Daniel Penny, much deserved, is out having a beer. I love that. He deserves that. God bless you. Not only does he deserve a beer, he deserves a lobster steak dinner, and he deserves a medal. I think Daniel Penny deserves a medal because he saved lives on that fateful day in May in 2023. God bless you. God bless you, Daniel Penny. So you have Jordan Neely's dad saying we should do something. You've got this Hawk Newsom guy saying we need black vigilantes. Like, what is this, Gotham City? And then you've also got the BLM founder who I just showed a clip of saying GD America. I can't even say the words. It just makes my blood boil because she absolutely gets away with this. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. I don't know if you guys remember, but I posted a video earlier today of Don Lemon getting schooled by Sheriff Clark. And I think I'm just going to share that with you because I know some of you guys probably didn't see it, okay? I wonder if Sheriff Clark actually has a statement to make here. Let's see if, hold on one second. Let's see if Sheriff Clark actually has a statement. Well, he actually thinks George Floyd, look what he did here. This is interesting. He said George Floyd does not deserve to be honored. He's a felon and a criminal. That's interesting. So he's actually advocating for the takedown of the George Floyd, that's interesting, George Floyd monument. But this is what I wanted to play for you. I wanted to play for you this because Don Lemon actually thinks that Black Lives Matter is about peace and is about unity. And I want to share with you this because I just love this. And I shared it in a video where I talked about this. Actually, it was during the stream. I'm just going to play it for you one more time. This is absolutely magnificent. And this is a beautiful testament to law enforcement. And it's a beautiful testament to the mandate that was set on November 5th. It's a beautiful testament to sanity, intelligence, and critical thinking retained 100% in America. Watch as Sheriff David Clark obliterates Don Lemon, the worst reporter ever
in the country. What's your message?
You don't believe that for 1 minute, do you?
That their message is?
Yeah.
That's what they said to me.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe them.
Any protests over the deaths of these cops today in Baton Rouge?
I don't know that.
Any riots or protests over the police officers in Dallas, Texas?
What are you asking?
It's a pretty simple question.
I asked you what's your message to the people? Their message is one of peace. What is your message?
My message has been clear from day one 2 years ago. This anti-cop sentiment from this hateful ideology called Black Lives Matter has fueled this rage against the American police officer. I predicted this 2 years ago. So what I want to know,
okay, Sheriff.
do I want to know?
With all due respect, do you know that this was because of that?
Yes, I do.
As a law enforcement officer?
I've been watching this for 2 years. I predicted this. This anti-police rhetoric sweeping the country has turned out some hateful things inside of people that are now playing themselves out on the American police officer. I want to know, with all of the black-on-black violence in the United States of America, by the way, when the tragedies happened in Louisiana and Minnesota, you know that 21 black people were murdered across the United States? Was there any reporting on that?
There was a black officer who was killed today. But
was there any reporting on that?
Sheriff, please, let's just keep the volume down here. So I understand, and listen. I'm
looking at 3 dead cops this week, Sheriff, and I'm looking at 5 last year. You trying to tell me to keep it down?
Just please, if you'll just please, we can keep it civil. So, because with the message to people at home, I'm sure you want is one of civility.
I wish, Don, I wish you had that message of civility
have a conversation
toward this hateful ideology, these purveyors of hate.
Know what my message is.
That's
what I want
they
to say
do.
to you is
these people preach vile and virtue
we'll be right
in the
back.
name
We're
of
going to go to break,
hate.
and we'll be right back.
So Donna Lamont cuts him off. By the way, thank you so much, Urban Southern Cookie 2. It's great to see you. Thank you for the $49.99 super chat. I'm a black conservative American woman. Violence among young black men, drugs, and fatherless homes are critical issues BLM ignores. Yet alleged systemic racism fuel racial division and prioritize financial gain over real solutions. All lives matter. I couldn't have said it better myself. Beautiful. Fantastic. Thank you so much. I want to check out your channel. Does it have something to do with amazing cookies? Thank you so much, Urban Southern Cookie, too. I love your sentiments. Very intelligent, very well articulated, and factual. The amount of crimes that have been committed. Thank you so much. By the way, I'm going to give you all shout outs at the end, so stick around. The amount of crimes that have been committed that are, if you want to make it about race, which I actually hate doing that. I hate making anything about race because I don't believe in it. The answer to DEI activists like to say, no, you're not going to hire, you're more likely to hire the person who's white than the person of color. That is categorically, unequivocally untrue. As somebody who's been a business owner for 30 plus years, as well as a professor in the public sector, I can tell you that is such BS. As a business owner, and I know I speak for the majority. Are there some out there? Yeah, but it's the least common denominator. You cannot aggregate laws, legislation based on the least common denominator. Of course there's outliers. Of course there's racism out there, but the majority are not. I believe that with every fiber of my being. The majority of America in 2025 and beyond are not. And so as a business owner, I think I can safely speak for most business owners, even corporate business owners. When we are looking to hire, we literally look for one thing and one thing only. Can you solve my problem? Are you qualified? Do you have the skill set? Can you communicate? Do you have any application that can help me, the business owner, solve my headache? Are you going to be the Excedrin to my headache? When anybody hires, they have a headache. You need to be the Excedrin. You need to be the Tylenol or whatever your favorite is. So that's all we're looking at. I don't care if you're female. I don't care if you're transgender. I don't care if you're white, purple, orange, black. It doesn't matter. America is about the best person for the job. The best idea wins, period. So all that hokum that they're trying to say that no. DEI is a way to combat inherent biases and systemic racism is a bunch of bull beep. Okay. It's been 7 years. Look at what I have on the screen right now. It's been 7 years since BLM was formed. They have raised over $1 billion. They haven't had one neighborhood cleanup, sent one poor black child to college, bought school supplies, fed the hungry, donated to a food bank, or provided housing to one poor Black family. That, my fellow Americans, my fellow global citizens, tells you everything you need to know about the domestic terrorist organization known as BLM, Black Lives Matter. Period. Period. Okay. So if you're just joining us again, if you just happen to be joining at the last second here, Daniel Penny has been found not guilty by a unanimous decision in the New York City court today, Monday, December 9th, 2024, not guilty on the second count of criminal negligence. On Friday, last Friday, the past couple of days, they could not come up with a unanimous decision on count one, which was manslaughter, which would have heeded a 15-plus year sentence in jail, imprisonment to this hero, Daniel Penny, for just doing the right thing as a good Samaritan. A lot of speculation over the weekend, including myself, a lot of reluctance, a lot of anxiety, including myself. But then today, Monday, the American people have spoken again. The American people have spoken yet again. The American people have spoken yet again. If you're wondering where you can get this one-of-a-kind, 100% original, made in the USA, it's made in the USA, for crying out loud. All you got to do is go to professornez.com/merch. It's also in the show notes description and in the pinned comment. Go check that out. The American people have spoken. And it makes me, I want to cry. I literally want to cry. Because we've been so disappointed. We have had nothing but heartache and heartbreak over these last 4 dreary, dark, ominous, tyrannical days. 4 years. 4 years of darkness. The mandate on November 5th, and now this unanimous decision of Daniel Penny being found not guilty makes me so happy and makes me so proud of you, America. I'm so proud of you, America. And he's a free man, and he's having a much-deserved beer. And I hope to God, Mr. President Donald Trump, we love you to death. I hope to God that he gets what he deserves, which I think would be fitting, some type of ceremony, some type of celebration, dare I say even some type of Medal of Freedom or Medal of Honor. He deserves it 100%. I would love to hear your thoughts. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. I want to give shout outs to all super chats and super stickers right now. But I really, really want to hear from you. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are in the comments. What do you think of Daniel Penny being found not guilty? Do you think it was the right move, wrong move? Why not? Let me know in the comments. Paul Harrison, you are absolutely amazing. Thank you, Paul, for the $50 super chat. Professor Nez, regardless of how a person feels about Brian Thompson, shooting him from behind was a coward move. Agree. Thank God Trump is in office. To hell with BLM and Al Sharpton. Yeah, and by the way, thank you for that, Paul. You're amazing. Al Sharpton was paid, I think, what was it, $250,000, maybe $1 million? I can't even remember what the actual price was, but he was paid a lot of money to fake an interview with Kamala Harris, a premeditated, pre-rehearsed interview. There should be somebody to look into that as well. Sharpton is a part of the same anti-American sentiment that BLM is. So he needs to be facing some charges too. Jim Barron, thank you so much. I love you, Jim. One of the best mods in the business. Laura Tilford, Jim Barron, Robbie Reeder, Howie, MG. We got the best mods you can ever imagine. Ronnie from Tennessee holding it down on Rumble. I love you guys so much. Thank you, Jim. Jacob Bartlett, thank you so much. God bless you, Jacob, for the $10 super chat. And as I grew up thinking there was a Good Samaritan law, which the person is immune from lawsuits if they were trying to save a life. Right. And they twisted it, gnarled it, and basically bent it to feed their own aims. That's what Alvin Do Nothing Bragg and the abysmal district attorney's office of Manhattan did. And that's why justice has been served. The Walrus, thank you so much for gifting 5 Professor Nez memberships. Now, Jim Barron gifted one as well. All new members, I just want to say this to you. Not only do you get to support the greatest channel on planet Earth, which is the antidote to woke, which is hoping to fortify and uphold American values and principles that our framers and founders envisioned for America. You also get automatic registration into our live stream giveaways. I've given away thousands and thousands of dollars of Amazon gift cards, merch, which you can get in our shop, mugs, hats, hoodies, you name it. You are automatically registered when you become a member. It would behoove you to become a member. It only costs you a cup of coffee a month. I mean, a cup of coffee a month, that's nothing. You spend more than that every morning when you go to Starbucks. Not only do you get that, you also get top boosted engagement, comment boosting. You get top priority when you have live guests on to answer questions. And you also get access to the greatest members only Discord on planet Earth. It is a thriving, engaging, collaborative group of individuals, like-minded patriots. I'm in there all the time myself. What's stopping you from becoming a member? It only costs you a cup of coffee a month. For the love of God, everybody's going to prosper now that Trump is back. I think it would beseech and behoove you to do so. Thank you so much, Walrus. You're amazing. Lori G, thank you for the $5 super sticker. Lori G was, speaking of live stream giveaways, Lori G was a big winner. Lori G was a big winner. I can't wait for you to get your brand new design, Lori G. I can't remember. Was it a hoodie or was it a shirt? I can't remember. Let me know, Lori G. It's great. Or was it the mug? Might have been the mug. Thank you, Lori. Love USA. You better believe it. Love USA. Great to see you. Thank you for the $1.99 super chat. We love you, anti-woke warrior, Professor Nez. I love you. I love you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Paul Harrison, you didn't do it again, did you? Paul Harrison, you are out of control. Brother, God bless you, sir. You are absolutely amazing. Professor Nez, your Donald Trump impression is priceless. Thank you very much, Paul. When you got the greatest president of all, quite frankly, probably the best leader we've ever had, it's really easy to do an impression because I absolutely love this guy. I love Professor Nez. I watch him all the time, quite frankly. When Melania and I go to bed at night, we turn on Professor Nez. He's amazing. He's not a nasty person like Kamala or Tren de Aragua. And he doesn't go to dance parties with Beyonce. No, he's a good guy. And he always tells the truth. Thank you, Mr. President. I love you. Thank you. Thank you, Paul. Tell me if you agree. We must vote out the enemies of America, starting with Letitia Big Shame James. Check. Fannie Cash Money G. Willis. Check. Alvin Do Nothing Bragg. Check. Green light across the board. Thumbs up, check mark across the board. Paul, it needs to happen. Urban Southern Cookie 2, thank you so much for the $49.99 super chat. I'm a Black conservative American woman. Violence among young Black men, drugs, and fatherless homes are critical issues BLM ignores, yet alleged systemic racism fuel racial division and prioritize financial gain over real solution. All lives matter. God bless you, Urban Southern Cookie 2. Thank you so much. God bless you, and thank you for that beautiful I never asked for any of this stuff. You don't have to do any of this. I would love for you to become a member. But my biggest gift, if you want to gift Professor Nez, you don't have to give me. I welcome and I appreciate, don't get me wrong. But honestly, the biggest gift you can give to me is by liking the videos, watching them all the way through and sharing them. That's it. That's all free. All this stuff is a bonus. And I tell you, it just melts my heart. It literally melts my heart because I don't want, especially if you're having struggles right now or having a hard time, I don't want you to give me anything. Just watch the videos. That's the best thing you can do. But man, it just melts my heart. And I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much. SS Butterfly Kisses is another winner. I remember you. Thank you for the $2.99 super sticker. SS Butterfly Kisses. It's great to see you guys. I can't wait for you to get your item. Refresh my memory too. What was it? I think you guys did actually get the mug, but I could be wrong. Robbie Reeder, one of the best mods in the business. Great to see you, brother. $1.99 super chat. Sometimes good men have you do bad things. Yes. Thank you, Robbie Reeder. You're amazing. It's great to see you always, R² in the house. Critical Smoker with the $2 super chat. Thank you so much, Critical Smoker. BLM should speak up on black violence. Exactly. And they never will. and they never do. You heard what Sheriff Clark said. Sheriff Clark said, did you realize that just in the time that we're talking here and Black Lives Matter is looting and rioting, 20 black men have died across America on black crimes. Where were they then? Where was the protest? Where was the no justice, no peace? Where was the we need to do something about this? Where was the burning and looting over that? No, it's non-existent because there's no money in it for them. There's no money in it for them. They only can sustain their money scheme and their money-making machine by sowing hate and division and racial divisiveness. That's it. That's their only way of doing it. So I really appreciate that. Thank you, Critical Smoker. Don't forget also in the pinned comment is our free newsletter. Now, this is absolutely free. This is a great way for you to never miss out on not only videos, streams, but live stream giveaways, special offerings, special events. Make sure you sign up. It's absolutely free. All you got to do is just click on that link and then click on newsletter, and you just give us your best email and you're in. Bada boom, bada bang. We don't spam. I don't share your email with anybody. That is not the Nez Nation way. So sign up for our free newsletter in the pinned comment down below. Make sure you tap that like button if you love America. And I thank you guys so much. I thank you, America. I love you, America. I love each and every one of you who made it happen on November 5th, who've brought sanity back. And thank you, jurors in the Daniel Penny trial, for exonerating an American veteran hero like Daniel Penny. I love you guys so much. Stay tuned. We got so much more coming. As always, God bless you and God bless the U.S.